So strongly. I've been a surfer for many, many years. I started surfing in 1965. So I've been surfing for a really long time. And I've won contests all over the world and done a number of things in the surfing industry, created companies. But this book is the most special thing that I've ever done, and I'm so bloody proud of the book. And the book all started. Are we okay there? The book all started from a group of kids that were coming down to the beach at Rincon, which is now my adopted home break. I grew up in Durban, South Africa, but now I live in Santa Barbara, in California. And they were coming down to the beach for a surfing competition that a friend of mine had organized, a guy called Glenn Henning, who started Surfrider Foundation, who's quite an iconic, he's quite an iconic guy in surfing, and created this wonderful foundation of which I'm a member, and I'm hoping that if you guys aren't members, you'll all join up Surfrider. It only costs $25. And they just do great work. So Glenn was having a group of kids come down to the beach, and he asked me to give them something. He said, Shaun, I'll give you a $120 budget, and I want you to give this group of kids, I've got about 100 kids coming down the beach, give them something to remember this particular day by. So at the time, my wife and I had an apparel company called Solitude. We made really groovy clothes. And I thought, well, maybe I'll give them a t-shirt or something, or I'll phone up Quicksilver or O'Neill or Rip Curl, get him something cool. And then I thought, no, what I'll do is I'll go home and I'll just write down the most important lessons I've learned about life from going surfing. So I sat in front of my Mac, and about half an hour, I wrote down 12 lines, 105 words, really simple. And I just wrote down the 12 most important things that I've learned about life from going surfing. It wasn't done with a commercial motive. It wasn't done from a perspective of showing how all this great wisdom that I had. It was just what I've learned from going surfing. So it came from a really, really pure place, and I'm really proud of it. And I gave these little cards, I printed these cards up. I still got one in my wallet, little plastic cards to these kids within the $120 budget. Glenn's $120 budget. And I gave them out to all the kids on the beach. I made up 100 cards, $1.20 each. And gave all the cards out, and then kids' friends, young kids, these were like 12-year-old kids, their friends started calling me and emailing me, and the mothers and fathers and older crew started calling me. And I thought, wow, there's something here that has some meaning to people that have been involved in surfing. So I started talking about it. I started talking at universities and schools and MBA programs and big corporations. I spoke at Disney and Google, just about what I'd learned about life from going surfing. And people liked the message. It was pure, it was non-commercial, and it came from the ocean. And at one of the events that I was talking at, there was a guy who eventually became a great friend of mine, a guy called Patrick Moser, who was a professor of French literature in the Midwest. How about that? And he said, Shaun, I think this would make a terrific book. So we got together and we collaborated and we created this book. And we're both very proud of it. The book was at the publisher in 2006 when my beautiful son Matthew died. He was 15 years old at the time, and it was just an incredible tragedy. But I wanted to keep the book out there as his memory. And I'm hoping you all pick up a copy. I'll sign copies for you if you want, or else you can just take a copy. And he wrote this essay for me, but it wasn't for me, it was for school. And he read it to me. He was in South Africa, going to my old private school in South Africa with my wife. He'd gone down for one semester. And 2 hours before he died, I just phoned him, and he picked up the phone. He said, "Hey Dad, I want to read you something." And he read me this beautiful essay that's printed in the book, and it was just about tube riding. And when I was a surfer and a pro, that was what I did. I loved tube riding. I always felt that represented the absolute essence of surfing. And for anyone that's been in the tube, there's that feeling when you're inside the tube and the past just behind you and the present's racing right beneath your feet. And the future's just right ahead of you. And you're looking for the light that's shining ahead. And that's what he called us, the light shines ahead. And in it, he speaks about getting in the tube and the light shining ahead. And my last chapter of the book, of this new edition that we've just brought out, is called The Light Shines Ahead, in memory of my beautiful boy. And I'm hoping that you all read this book, because I know all of us will pick up books and it's so hard to find the time to read, but I'm really asking all of you, I'd love you to read the book, and if you like it, tell a friend about it, or just give the copy to someone else, because this has not got a huge publishing base behind it, but it's got a good, cool message, I think, for today's world. So I'm hoping that the book ultimately becomes more resonant in the community. And I really appreciate Will from Simple for helping promote it and spread the word about this book. And I'd like to thank you all for coming. And one last thank you. I met this guy who's got a groovy store. This is a total commercial plug called Rogan, and he dressed me in this great kit. And he said, I said, listen, I went on the Today Show yesterday, which was quite an experience. And I said, listen, I'm going on this TV show, the Today Show, please give me some kit, you know, I'm a Baptist surfer. He said, sure, there's a store going, but so unfortunately he's not here. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and it's been fun meeting with, I've met so many of you. There's about 3 or 4 Aussies in the crowd. Yay! Come on, Aussie, come on, it's great to meet Aussie. I've got my nephew here, Shaun, who's from South Africa. He lives here in New York, and just a lot of cool people. And I'm stoked that you all came out here, and thank you very much. And we've got plenty of books, we've got plenty of wines, so enjoy yourselves. Cheers.